Very good evening, Dhamma friends. Let me welcome you to today's Sutta Study class, which is the first one of 2025 with wholesome mind. And I share with you the power of the Noble Triple Gem as I believe, as I trust, as I practice. May these energies come to you as a positive force and help you develop your wholesome qualities. It is so nice to see you uh, in the new year with the first Sutta study class. We know that a lot of our friends are still busy with various gatherings and things related to the first week of the year, so that we do not expect many of them in the Sutta study class. But I am really happy that you make it just to stay in the Dhamma at least for 1 hour. Let's begin the Sutta study class with wholesome feeling in mind, particularly gratitude, respect, and venerations to the Supreme Buddha and the Dhamma and Sangha. Let me recite Namo Tassa to pay our due respect to the Supreme Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I pay my homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dhamma friends, let's begin the today's Sutta study with Sammaditthi. I just mentioned Sammaditthi just because it is the very important quality for us to begin the training on the Noble Eightfold Path and also continue throughout the path. And if anything achieved, it is because of Sammaditthi. So that Sammaditthi is a wonderful, very first quality in the Dhamma. So we are going to spend some time on it just to refresh our knowledge. Before we go into Sammaditthi Sutta, we can go around the topic a little bit and understand its significance. The very foundation of the concept Sammaditthi start with Ditti. The foundation of Sammaditthi is Ditti. Ditti means usually view. But Bhante Ji from West Virginia and few other monks shed light on the meaning, the very good word for it. Instead of view, it's understanding. So with the word view, we talk about wrong view and what you call personality view and so on. So there we find right view for sure, but some scholars with sharp analysis point out that the best word for view in Sammaditthi, in Ditti, is understanding. So that is something I want to highlight at the beginning. Maybe you have different ideas. It's fine, because if the Sammaditthi is understood, no matter which word you use exactly as it is, then the job is done. So that go with any words you like, but Pali term is much very important, and it has so many weight in understanding the very quality Sammaditthi and also other important elements of the Dhamma. Sammaditthi, Sammaditthi, as you know, is the first of the Noble Eightfold Path. It is also mentioned with other terms elsewhere. I know many of you know the Yoniso Manasikara, and what do you call, uh, I'm thinking of the word, sampajanya, and then panya. So these are some of the terms that either go around samadhi or samadhi is cycle around these qualities. So Yoniso Manasikara, the English term is appropriate attention, wise attention. So that is something you always think wisely. So when you do that, samadhi is arising in your mind. Samadhi is the very effect of Yoniso Manasikara. So right wise thinking is leading you to have right understanding of anything. So then Sati Sampajanya, it is mixed with mindfulness. So mindfulness always goes with right thinking, right view, right understanding. That's why we have it in the mindfulness training, some Sati Sampajanya. If you go into details of Sampajanya, it talks about how you do physical, verbal, and mental activities with attention, with wise attention. So gacchantua gacchamiti pajanati. When you walk, you become mindful about your walking. When you eat, you become mindful about it. When you talk to somebody, you become mindful about what you are talking. So that is called sati sampajanya, clear comprehension. The very English term for sati sampajanya is clear comprehension. You have a clear mind about what you are doing. It's called sati sampajanya, clear comprehension. So it has a direct connections to samadhi. Then the very seed of our mind relate to samadhi, yoniso manasikara, sati sampajanya is called panya. So panya is the indriya, panya is the basic quality, panya is the seed of these terms. So that is also important to know, and because they are connected in 37 factors of enlightenment. You have samadhi in the noble eightfold path, and you have panya, wisdom as a faculty, wisdom as a power. Then Dhammavichaya is another quality in seven factors of enlightenment. It stands as a quality for making sure that you are attaining enlightenment. So in different set of Dhamma, you have this quality with different names, but we have to connect, we have to understand the connection between these, among these qualities. But in simple term, what we should say is that it is the very quality we need to have. So Sammaditi, who explained this particular sutta, Sammaditi Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, is Venerable Sariputta. Venerable Sariputta, as you know, is the foremost disciple of the Buddha for wisdom. Except the Buddha, he is the master for various Dhamma elements. He had that skill to explain the Dhamma in details. If you look at Samadhiti Sutta, Satya Sutta, you see the mastery of Venerable Sariputta on the Dhamma, so that Buddha was very confident about Venerable Sariputta's knowledge, wisdom about certain Dhamma, so that Venerable Sariputta was openly and with in the administration appointed as the marshal of the Dhamma, the one who can explain. And if you look at the Anupada Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, you see how the Buddha appreciated Venerable Sariputta's wisdom, and also the way he entered into the noble training and attained to each stage of samadhi and also wisdom. So we do not find any other disciple who could reach to this level of wisdom. So Buddha appreciated very much Venerable Sariputta about his wisdom. So we don't go on this biographical thing of Venerable Sariputta very much, but we cannot go into Sutta studies without talking about Venerable Sariputta into this extent. That's why I mentioned about him. Um, we were not fortunate to see disciples like Venerable Sariputta in our lifetime. Perhaps we have seen him without Shraddha, so that we didn't make anything progressive. Anyhow, now we have enough wisdom or Sammaditi, right understanding to know who Venerable Sariputta was. So, Samadhi is compared to the engine of a vehicle. Samadhi is compared to the brain of a human. Samadhi is compared to the very important factor of any construction. Without it, that particular thing is not going to be. So if you take the engine of a vehicle, you have a very nice body of the vehicle, you have wheels, you have everything, but if there is no engine, it's not going to work. So likewise, Samadhi is taking us into the right conclusion. Without Samadhi, your mind is going to be wrong, your speech is going to be wrong, your action is going to be wrong, your samadhi is going to be wrong, your mindfulness is going to be wrong, your whole life is going to be wrong. So you get wrong conclusion without samadhi. Samadhi, therefore, is there is no comparison that could be done exactly as it is, but anyway, it is very important. If you go into each Nikayas and look into discourses, you can find many statements about Sammaditthi. If you Google with the name of Sammaditthi, you can find a lot of articles, a lot of translation of suttas, and also interpretations. So many good things are there in the stream about Sammaditthi, but I would like to tell you that do not go everywhere in finding Samadhi. Just look at Samadhi Sutta. Just look at other suttas where Samadhi is explained, and keep that as your source and develop Samadhi within. Because we know that Samadhi has categories, like those who are in average state of mind, they could have a samadhi, and it is called mundane samadhi. Then those who have at least to enter into Sotapanna, first stages of enlightenment, they are going to have supramundane samadhi. So samadhi could be in two categories according to Mahachattari Sutta. So therefore, samadhi is something that always should present in our mind in order for us to stay in the Dharma. So let's begin the Sutta studies for this year with samadhi, so that you are going to make a lot of progress in the Dharma. Do we have this particular quality while we meditate? Do we have this particular quality present while we do alms giving? Do we have this particular quality while we are having this Sutta studies? So then what it is? How do we recognize samadhi in us? Do we have any method of checking whether we have samadhi? So these are some of the important questions one should ask, because without recognizing samadhi in our mind, how could we recognize the other qualities? So so samadhi, if you have samadhi, you always put some sort of interrogation, some sort of questioning. Do I do this bring me suffering or happiness? Is it good for myself and everyone else? Is this okay according to the Dhamma and Vinaya? Do I do wrong thing which accumulate demerits if I do this? So how about if I do this, everyone become happy, everyone appreciate it. If I clean the room, everybody would be happy. So if I talk to people in a nice way, people reciprocate. So these are some of the samadhi that present in normal setup in our life. Suppose you go to suppose you go to the bus station, and you think that people behave in a way that unhappiness arises in someone's mind. So, for example, some people do not put their garbage into garbage bin. Some people do not follow the line, and then you see type of irregular patterns of human behavior. So you think that I shouldn't be like that. It's a bad thing for doing for a person like me. So I should be mindful. I should be respectful for people, no matter what the other people do. So this is called samadhi. Samadhi. Suppose you are sitting near the window of a huge bus and or a train, and you go a long distant place. So on while you are going, you see animals, you see the sky, you see the mountains, and then your mind become happy and say, everyone in this train, everyone in this bus, everyone in this area should be peaceful. How about if I develop some sort of compassion in mind, no matter whether other people know about it or not? I should do this. So your mind is elated, joyful. So this is because of your samadhi. Samadhi to decide that you should be kind and compassionate, right? So let's say that some people accused you of something you didn't do, then you feel no bad because you see it is something I didn't do. So then you do not become angry, you do not become hateful for those people. So you stay calm and peaceful. That is because of samadhi. That is because of samadhi. So, friends, samadhi in a practical sense could be practiced in such a way, and then we have to find that right tune of samadhi in our action. So, unless we do that, it remained as a concept in the book. It remained as the samadhi as it is in the Noble Eightfold Path, which we never taste. So we have to taste it. We have to mix it, use it for making us Dhamma center. So therefore, samadhi as great disciple practice and achieve enlightenment, we need to make ourselves progressive. One of the words we find in the teaching is dittipatta. When you categorize people who attain to different stages of enlightenment and mental progress, you can find this particular person dittipatta, the one who enter into the peace and happiness using right understanding is called dittipatta. In other words, he has covered all the aspect of samadhi so that he is in a state of, he is called dittipatta, one who has reached to understanding. So uh, this explanation in suttas about people tells us samadhi is such so that you enter into at least stage of sotapanna when you have clear samadhi. So we can find this from even Sabbasa Sutta. When samadhi is rising as it is, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, and all the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path come to support, come alive, and they arise together with Samadhi. Because Samadhi is alone not coming like that. Samadhi is supported by the other two qualities according to Mahachattharya Sutta. So you can give long list of things about samadhi as an introduction, but I do not wish to do so because we need to peep into samadhi sutta just to know just to how venerable how to know, just to know how venerable Sariputta explains samadhi. As I said before, sometimes Buddha leaves some Dhamma topics for Venerable Sariputta to explain, because Venerable Sariputta can elaborate them in a meaningful way, in the way that listeners understand. So the Sammaditi Sutta, the Sutta number 9 in Majjhima Nikaya, is a wonderful piece of Dhamma to tell how Venerable Sariputta's wisdom is. So this has been uttered by Venerable Sariputta as a response to some questions asked by monks who came to see Venerable Sariputta. So the question, interrogation begins with the term Sammaditi. A lot of people talk about Sammaditi. What exactly Sammaditi according to your expertise, according to your understanding? This is the very questions that those monks asked. So, because not only in Buddhism, but also in Brahmanism, in Jain tradition, and in other religion, they talk about right view. They talk about right understanding. They talk about similar things. So the chances to be confused is very high if you do not get right teacher and right teaching. So even bhikkhus who are beginners of the bhikkhu and bhikkhu order and bhikkhuni order might be fossils if they listen to similar statement. They are not right, but similar. They could be confused. So that it is a duty of Venerable Sariputta and all the great disciples to clear the point Sammaditi for beginners, for lay people, for anybody else. So therefore, Sammaditi Sutta, as I see, is a kind of very guiding sutta for someone to enter into the whole noble eightfold path. So Venerable Sariputta was questioned about Sammaditi. So they say that all the way from long distant places we came to Venerable Sariputta to know about this particular Dhamma. So then humbly he accepted the invitation, and then he delivered the Dhamma related to Sammaditi. If you have, I know you have gone through the Sammaditi Sutta before, so that you might be remembering what exactly you have in the Sammaditi Sutta. It has 16 factors. So Sammaditi is being explained by 16 ways by Venerable Sariputta. So we do not find such things in the entire Tripitaka except this particular sutta. The sutta title is called Sammaditi Sutta, the sutta that noble quality explained. So out of, now I told you that there are 16 subtopics to explain Sammaditi, and 4 of them are such as kusala, kusalamula, kusalamula, wholesomeness, unwholesomeness, the root of wholesomeness, and the root of unwholesome. That is 1. And then 4 kinds of food. It is the second one, and the 4 noble truth is the 4th one, and the asa, which is the 16th one of the list, is the 4th one. And these 4 are, when you understand these 4, that's mean you have Sammaditi. So the other 12 other 14, sorry, everything is 16, other 12 are from Paticcasamuppada, starting from Jaramarana. It goes up to ignorance, so there are 12 links there, and understanding them as they are is called Sammaditi. So the definition for Sammaditi is therefore understanding kusala, akusala, kusala mula, akusala mula, and then 4 kinds of food, 4 noble truths, and then ignorance, formation, sankara, vinyana, Namrupa, Salayatana, Passa, Vedana, craving, then clinging, and then, what do you call, being or existent, Bhava, and then birth, and then Jara Marana, decay and death. So understanding all these things is called Samadhi. In that regard, you see that if you understand all these 16 steps as a theory, as a practice, that's when you have Samadhi. Samadhi is about bad thing. Samadhi is about good thing. Samadhi, when there is Samadhi, we know from various sources that all the noble qualities gather around, and then they are you. Samadhi is leading everything and everyone. So therefore, these 16 points of Dhamma, or the ways of concept of the Dhamma, explain us that Samadhi is always there practically. So I have been talking about 27 minutes now. We'll go with the first one, and then you can refer to any topics, any subtopics of it. Wholesome and the unwholesome. As I said, it is a simple analysis. Uh, when you have to do something, when you have to say something, when you have to think something, these are the three ways of existence by all living beings: bodily, physically, and mental. So, at any given moment, you can apply this, whether this is kusala or akusala. The things I'm going to say to the other person is kusala or akusala. Then uh, so where does this coming from? This is this from akusala mula, the or kusala mula. We can talk about what are the akusala mula and kusala mula when we go into details. Basically, so you have a type of habit of questioning whenever something happen. That questioning is to know the truth, not for anything else. Some people question not because of finding, not because of the truth, but because of various other purposes. So kusala and akusala. So they are very important thing to develop. All the noble eightfold path, all the other factors of the 37 factors of enlightenment, they are called kusalapa or kusalapata, or the trace of wholesomeness, the path of wholesomeness. So that anything good in the entire teaching is called kusala. Kusala Supasampada. When the Buddha uttered that particular Dhammapada verse, he said, Sabapapa Sakaranan, don't do akusala. All kind of akusala should not be done. Do all kind of good things, and then you are purifying your mind. Purify your mind. Prepare your mind for switching yourself from this levels to next level. So the point is kusala. So with the word kusala, you can enter, you can put all the Dhamma elements in the entire Buddha's teaching. So whatever help you to reach to nirvana is called samadhi. So as I said, samadhi, when it comes to function of it could call yoniso manasikara and panyayendriya. So that is those qualities that exist in our mind as a function, but very results we talk about is samadhi. So let's go into kusala and akusala. Venerable Sariputta started explaining the sutta. Friends, I know that a noble disciple, if noble disciple understand the unwholesomeness, the root of unwholesomeness, and also if that particular person understand the root of wholesomeness and the wholesomeness as well as the root of unwholesomeness, I would say that he has right view. He has right understanding. He has samadhi or she has samadhi. So what is the unwholesome? What is the root of unwholesome? What is the wholesome? What is the root of unwholesome? So then Buddha talks about 10 types of kusala. There we used to say it 10 wholesomeness and 10 unwholesomeness. In Pali, dasa kusala and dasa akusala. So killing living beings is unwholesome. Stealing is unwholesome. Then misconduct is unwholesome. Then false speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, and gossip, they are unwholesome. The covetousness is unwholesome. Ill will is unwholesome. Wrong view is unwholesome. Right view is wholesome, but wrong view is unwholesome. So we see here 10 factors we call dasa akusala or dasa kusala. So the total knowledge about these two set is called samadhi. So what is the root of unwholesome? What is the root of wholesome? Knowing this also is samadhi. The root of unwholesomeness is greed, hatred, and ignorance. Greed is a root of unwholesome. Hate is root of the unwholesome. Delusion or ignorance is a root of unwholesome. So the root of unwholesome or akusala is lobha, dosa, moha. Now you can understand what the source of kusala. Definitely, they told abandoning. The wholesomeness is abandoning all these 10 wrongdoings: killing living beings, stealing, misconduct, and so forth. So the 10 wholesome factors are mean to be away from those wrongdoing. So prevention or the going away from is practicing wholesomeness. The root for it is non-greed, non-hatred, and non-ignorance, non-delusion. So bhikkhus over there, after listening to this entire things from Venerable Sariputta, so Venerable Sariputta continues again, sorry. Having said what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, the root of unwholesome, the root of wholesomeness, Venerable Sariputta says, if you understand, if a disciple understand unwholesomeness, all these four, what are the four? The unwholesome, the root of unwholesome, wholesomeness, and the root of wholesomeness. So if you really get these, understanding about kusala akusala, there you have the chance of abandoning underlying tendency to lust, underlying tendency to aversion, underlying tendency to underlying tendency to view, and so and then yeah. So when you have samadhi on kusala and nakusala in this manner, continuously without stopping it for a few days or so, so you are going to abandon the very subtle behavioral patterns of your mind. If you have samadhi about kusala very clearly, you are going to weaken the underlying tendency of lust, underlying tendency of aversion, underlying tendency of mana, and abandoning ignorance, and you can get true knowledge. So the total opposite of samadhi is called michaditi and sakaditi. At the same time, ignorance plays a big role there to make some situation. So anyhow, samadhi in this manner takes those underlying tendencies as, because it is so powerful. It is so powerful. So that is called kusala and nakusala. And the Buddhist, Venerable Sariputta said in detail that if one is able to let go of all the negative things and allow wisdom to rise in our mind again, there I would say that he has entered into the Saddhama. He has entered into the noble Dhamma. So that is what Venerable Sariputta said at the in the last line of the section Kusala and Akusala. So I think you better talk now because in each subtopics there are a lot of information, new information. So you better refer to the sutta to know them. But my intention is to show you some salient features of a sutta like I do today. So better for us to have a discussion, better for us to have a kind of conversation that illuminates our mind on samadhi. So I would like you to get the opportunity, and then we can have a discussion. Do you feel samadhi? Do you recognize samadhi in your mind? Yes, Dr. Pia. Thank you for raising your hand. So as usual, you can add to the discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Bante Sadhu. This is an excellent sutta. And I was thinking about samadhi. Now, when you say samadhi, it's right. You said it's right. Understanding is a better term. I think we can go with that. But the view always is any of the views, Sakkaya all the views are translated as
Yeah.
like a Sakkaya as translated view, not understanding, right? All along.
Yeah, you're right. I heard from some scholars on the subject, saying that right understanding would be a better one. It doesn't mean that right view is bad. Of course, the line, the similarities is going sakkayaditi, michaditi, then sammaditi. In Pali, you see ditti is always the basis. So it's a kind of concept. It's a kind of way of. It's a kind of uh, you know particular thing in your mind. So with the additions in front of the ditti changes the scenario. Like micha ditti, micha. If you raise micha, if you erase sakka ditti, so then it's samadhi. It's a peaceful, harmonious, very dhamma-centered way of understanding. I you know I see the significance of these two terms.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then what I wanted to emphasize is the opinions of some scholars.
Sure. Bante, another question I have is this is he's Vedmura Satyaputta is talking about a person with a right view. He's not giving a definition for right view. So
Yeah,
what qualities of a person with a right view? So there could be various number of qualities he's putting out here. Like
yeah,
these qualities, the person with a right view, how what quality? A person with a right view have the understanding of the four nutriments. Another person might have coming of the wholesome and unwholesome way of the. But basically, Four Noble Truths is, I guess, it's like the elephant's footprint, right? It goes everything in there.
yeah. True, true. In Satyavibhanga Sutta, when Samadhi is explained, uh, it says directly that Samadhi is nothing but understanding the Four Noble Truths.
Hmm.
So, as you said, yes, it's a very good point. So, from person to person, samadhi, the way the samadhi has been developed would be varied. Because, for example, let's say that there is person A here, and he doesn't understand vidya, ignorance, upadana, clinging very much, but he would be able to understand, as you said, ahara, the four nutriments very much. So, through that way, his right view has arisen.
Hmm.
So prominent quality he takes and understand would be, four type of food. Through that way,
Hmm.
he he or she understand other things also later. You enter, as you said, you enter into samadhi with particular thing. That's why it has been very deep analysis, because the 16 ways. Suppose sometimes people think that do we need to understand every 16 to be a samadhi, to be a person who has samadhi? That is not what it means. As you said, for some people, they have samadhi because of because of their understanding about tanna, right? So, but what happened to you after that is you are going to know the other things as well. So that's why Four Noble Truth. If you understand Four Noble Truth, you catch all these things.
And here also the mundane, and you said the supramundane or the world transcended right view is not in the sutra text itself. It is in the, I think the Atthakatha or the the late explanations, right? And also this mundane and supermundane right view comes in Mahachattarika Sutra, what not anywhere else.
Yeah,
So could it be a later Mahachattarika Sutra is a later edition or like added from the Atthakatha to the sutra, injected back into sutra? Because why is not coming? It's finding anywhere else. I mean, if Buddha's teaching, usually they are repetition. This it should come in other texts as well. I mean, this is my just
I know that.
inquiry, just inquiring mind.
It's a very good inquiry. Yeah, we can find such things, similar things, two or three things, such as this in the Tripitaka. If you see how many times Buddha uses Majjhima Patipada, he didn't use that word very much.
Hmm.
Majjhima Patipada, the middle part, that
Only
particular
the
word
first year.
is used only a couple of time in the entire Tripitaka. And
Interesting.
then, one of the widespread qualities of the Theravada teaching is sunyata. So it's everywhere, but the word is used only for couple of. There are two sunyata sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, and then it is been explained everywhere where
Yeah,
impermanent, dukkha, and anatta explained.
yeah.
So that I think. We do not have any evidence. We can have the opinion, we can have a
Yes.
type of
Discussion,
questions
but
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but the relevant information are lacking in the Nikaya itself, whether they are from later additions or so. We
okay.
can clearly see later additions.
Yeah. Last question
In,
is the mundane right view. So one has to become to mundane right view. It is called kammasakata samadhi, meaning believing in karma and its results of karma, basically, right?
yeah,
And to get into super mundane right view is a must, right? Is it like
yeah,
is a progression from the mundane to super mundane? We have
yeah,
to have at least karma, believe in karma
yeah, that's
vipaka.
true.
Okay.
Of course, yes. Otherwise, if you see the list of things to have, things to do in mundane samadhi, one of the strongest point is karma. It means action has a reaction. If of course action has a reaction, each action has a reaction. But what we are talking about in karma is the intention. So you have this particular action with with this intention, then the respective results is there. So yeah, karmas. That's why mundane samadhi is being defined as kammasakata samadhi. You have to you accept the fact that karma is a reality. So yes, um, when you read the suttas like Mahachattari Sukha, uh, you get these points about mundane and supramundane samadhi. As you said, uh, laukika samadhi, mundane samadhi is the beginning of the training. You know, you come to know that the Buddha is right, and you see that the Dhamma is something I should follow because it tells very logical, very practical things. And then you come across some sort of mental calmness here and there, so that you convince yourself that you are doing right thing. So you are bound to go forward further on the same track because you find some interesting. So you have that particular mundane samadhi. So at some point you are going to certainly understand that this is right. Now I am certain. Oh, the Buddha is so great. Now I see who he is through what you are experiencing. So that is how you use mundane samadhi. You develop mundane samadhi. You protect mundane samadhi to push yourself to supramundane samadhi. So, in other words, Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari, they are having the first two disciples of the list of eight. Uh, you know, they are having mundane samadhi. So, mundane samadhi is like a flashlight in the darkness. So you use it to go to a particular house. Then in the house you have a lot of lights. You don't need the flashlight. So mundane samadhi is like the flashlight, and the whole house which is illuminated is called supramundane samadhi. You do not want to. Here you have enough light. Why do I use a flashlight? So this is like supramundane samadhi. You can see everything as it is, but before we have the light switch on, we have to use a flashlight to see the switch. So it's a kind of simile I gave on the spot just to see the importance of mundane samadhi of someone for him or her to reach to supramundane samadhi.
Sadhu.
Yeah. So thank you. It's a very a valid point, and I see our friend Neeta has raised her hand. So please unmute and give your thought.
Vandami Bhante. I'm Neeta speaking. Smita, me,
Yes.
and our mom is here. I have a little different question. Could you please explain what is aditthana?
Oh, aditthana. Oh, it's a kind of strong mental, strong. Let me see which way I should say it. Aditthana is a Pali word. Adhisthana is my own term also in Sinhala. It's determination, right? So you strongly think that I should achieve this. Aditthana could be wrong. Aditthana could be right too. So I want to for a murderer, for a robber, for one who robs something, or he or she uh, strongly think that I should do this. So the if you talk about the Bodhisattva, his adhisthana, was to find the truth. When you have that strong feeling, a strong perception to find the truth in your mind, everything else is not important for you, but the particular aditthana, particular search on truth is important. So aditthana is a strong mental projection to achieve something. With regard to enlightenment, nirvana, so your aditthana is to achieve nirvana, to enter into nirvana, to have that particular understanding. There you see impermanence and so on. There, that is your aditthana. So aditthana is a kind of determination with a vision to achieve something. So that's why it comes as a paramita. In 10 paramita, you aditthana, aditthana, which one is adhisthana? Dhanang silancha nekkammang, panya viriyena panchamang, Satya aditthana, yes. So aditthana is coming in the middle of the paramita. So it should be everywhere. So without a kind of plan, without kind of aim. So aditthana could also be going with these terms, aim and hopes and wish. So you have kind of uh, you know urging feeling in your mind to achieve. So
Mhm.
that is called aditana.
Is it kind of similar with manifestation or resolution?
Resolution, I think, goes better. Yeah, it's a resolution.
Yeah. So,
So you make a plan, and you make a plan just because you want to achieve that particular thing. So you make a plan. You resolve. So to do things to achieve. I think yes.
okay. Thank you. I think
Yes.
Sutta has something to say.
Undami Bante, I wanted to ask, like, I know Bante Punyaji translates Samadhi as harmonious perspective.
Yeah.
And the perspective kind of explains, I don't know, to me, better of that qualities are described in Samadhi.
I see the significance of his explanation. Sometime I also found out some explanation are very intriguing and very appealing. So harmonious. Did he use view or harmonious view? Right? Harmony,
Harmonious
whatever.
perspective.
Perspective, yeah, harmonious perspectives. And then harmonious, so he used instead of some right, English word right, he used harmonious. It makes sense in a way because if you have right understanding, it could harmonize your mind. So in the normal average language, harmonious means your mind was not in a in a particular good shape, so you harmonize your own, which means slowly, step by step, you smoothly touch your feeling, and then it was very busy before, now it's calm, and so this is how you harmonize. In singing, I think those who definitely do know about singing, you know what it is harmonizing. So you take yourself into a state of peace and happiness by doing so. So I think uh, his explanation for Samma is providing us another window to understand the particular aspect, perspective of the whole Noble Eightfold Path, I think. So everyone, or even we use the translation of Bhikkhu Bodhi, and Bhikkhu Bodhi is, is a individual who come from translation tradition from Pali to English, so that mostly people use right, samma. Even in Sinhala language, which I mostly used, if we go into grammar, and if you go to linguistic, we do not find any other word, any similar words like samma. So we might say a lot of words to explain. So Bhikkhu Bodhi was somewhat wise in selecting that word, so harmonious. I think without a discussion, without having a discussion whether it is right or wrong, I would say that it could help many people to understand the very factors of the Noble Eightfold Path with that word harmonious, because that in general sense people understand that word, and then when it is used, people will understand the Noble Eightfold Path also, including the Sammaditi. So I have a respect to Bante Purnaji for that. But we do not see that that is not being used by many translation, many people in their sermon, in their speeches. Anyhow, thank you for saying that, because it harmonizes your mind when you have right understanding about everything in your mind. It's easier for you to calm down your mind. It's easier for you to bring your attention to the truth. So you, in a way, you have harmonized your mind. Thank you. Yes, Sister Chandrani. today joined from Sri Lanka. So she has raised her hand early in the morning for you. Could you unmute your mic and speak? Let me ask you to unmute so that you will see it.
Yes,
Yes.
Venerable Sir, I wish to thank you so much because it was a beautiful sermon from middle, beginning was good, middle was good, and the ending was good. And I understood so well. I really appreciate for the new year. The first sermon I listened is yours, and I'm very grateful. And I hope to listen to more and more Dhamma talks similar to this. Teruan Sarnai Venerable Sir.
Thank you very much for your compliment. Actually, the reason why I take this sutta into discussion, because it is the new year, and then the first discussion we have, and it is a sutta that many people can understand. There are a lot of things that we have to practice on it, but understanding part is much easier in the sense of uh, sutta elements. And then I know that it is beautiful because of the participation of very educated friends like you and others, so that a session would be meaningful and productive when such members gather and discuss. Yes, early in the morning, not only during the new year, you can take this topic samadhi into your analysis. So any quality, any concept in Dhamma, we can take and think in our free time, so that joy is arising in us. I do this in my way, in a personal time. I think about, I mostly like to think about Sunyata and Anicca. They are some of the brilliant Dhamma points that I pick up and think and bring peace and happiness. Sometime some sort of problems, because we are living in a society where a lot of greed, hatred, and ignorance works. So you become a part of some problem. At least you are in a positions to talk about problems and give you conditions to solve them. So there, the happy part I find this problematic situation is I know these terms. Sammaditi, anicca, dukkha, anatta, karma, and then so many other things come to mind, and the gravity of the problem is gone in our mind, so that we can find solution. We can at least be kind and compassionate in listening to those problems, because we see that, oh, this is impermanent, that is impermanent. They are only a short period of time. So see how tanha is working. So some Dhamma elements come to our mind, and in a strong way, to protect us from unwholesomeness and to enjoy the situation very much in helping everyone else. So I sometimes do this early in the morning, take samadhi into your mind, and if you think the Sutta Samadhi in Majjhima Nikaya is a better source, so if you can remember the 16 points, go on each points. It takes at least about 16 minutes. If you give 1 minute for each quality, there you have away from hindrances for 16 minutes. So that they are not only that you experience Shraddha on the Buddha, you experience Shraddha on the Dhamma, you convince yourself that how gorgeous, how wonderful this Samadhi is, and you pay your respect to Venerable Sariputta for putting this sutta into the order, into the in Tripitaka. So many things could happen. So I think the reason why I go on and on it, because you are coming from today Sri Lanka to the discussion, and early in the morning for you. And so you understand the sutta very much because you have samadhi. So everybody else contributed, and even you listen to the sutta because you have samadhi. Other, if there was no samadhi, you never come to this sutta discussion. You might listen to something very average. So you dedicated your time for this session, not for anybody else's sake, but for your sake. You just want to engage in the Dhamma activity during this evening period. So it's because of your samadhi. Thank you very much. And I can see you raise your hand again, Neeta.
Yeah, sorry, Bhante, I know we are running late, Smita here, but I don't know if briefly you can talk about Asava. I don't know if you have time or maybe next time.
Next time we'll take it, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
a, it's,
also
it's
maybe
one
next
of the,
time, if
yeah,
we can talk on Shunyata.
yeah. So
Bante,
yeah, we'll take Asava next time.
I
So,
just
and also Sunyata.
Yeah, Sunyata, yeah.
I just want
Yes,
to share
Dr. Yeah.
one simile about samadhi. It's interesting simile because it related to this discussion. He says about the neem tree, neem tree, NIMB. I think it's a kohomba, like a bitter tree.
Yeah.
Like you put a bitter seed, whatever that happens, but comes out the fruits or branches, everything is bitter. So samadhi, if you is something like michaditi is like a bitter Buddha always starts with the opposite. The michaditi is like planting a bitter seed, which will everything will be bitter after that. So the noble eightfold path, everything that comes off will be all micha, like the opposite. Have you heard of that simile?
Yeah, definitely. If I have heard about it. Yes, if samadhi change its nature and turn into michaditi, everything is going to be micha, right? So we do not say for other qualities. For some micha, suppose your micha samma ajiva turn into micha ajiva, there you cannot expect other things change. But samadhi, actually, it is the umbrella term in the Noble Eightfold Path. It's the main. It's just like backbone. It's just like a main character there. So yes, if Michaditi is leading, everything is going to be Micha. If Samadhi is leading, everything is going to be Samma. Right? Just like the parents of the family. If parents are really good, and the children, chances are they are 100% for children to be good too. Right? It's just like the king of everyone. The Samadhi is the king. So yes, thank you for that. And so you seed you plant the seed which is bitter, and the tree is going to be bitter, the flowers and everything, because the basis is bitter. So when the michaditi is leading, everything is going to be part of it, and when samadhi is going is the the quality and the seed, then everything is going to be wholesome. Everything is going to be uh, uh, up to that stat. So that is very good too. Yeah, have a passion to learn this kind of Dhamma elements on your own, and at as much as you can, so that your samadhi is progressive. So try to find what's how so where samadhi is explained elsewhere in the Tripitaka, and how samadhi is going to be acting in us when I do this. So because samadhi is when you wear it, there it is yours. So we are going to talk about the other factors of the Samadhi Sutta. We just covered only one. and Asavi is another. Asavi is going to be the last one of the 16. And when you talk about these things, you find nothing but shunyata, you find nothing but anicca, because with samadhi, you look at things, you don't find anything except three characteristics. Sunyata is there, anatta is there, you don't find anything. So that is because of samadhi. It is with so when the lens of samadhi is here, you see nothing but liberating from everything. So I think that is what we want to do in the Sutta study class, sharing our knowledge, digging into suttas, taking something important from them and apply them into our, physical and verbal and mental behavior, so that we are going forward. So let's try to do that every week. I'm so happy that I could started the Sutta study class. I do not know how many weeks I could do, because uh, I am having another long trip in February and March. Anyhow, I know that you have samadhi, so you can find dharma that is relevant to you to get out of the clutches of greed, hatred, and ignorance, so that because you have samadhi, you are developing samadhi. So that anyhow, let's try our best to gather virtually and discuss them. So that's all for today. I wish may you have a wonderful evening. May be able to keep the days pleasant and nice in January, and continue to do so in many days, in days come in the future. And may you be a person who has samadhi grounded very well. In other words, may you be having supramundane samadhi soon. With that in mind, we end today's Sutta discussion. May you have the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Everyone, Saturday, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.